Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Bozard Ford studio for the St. Johns County show that is on in the morning. We've got a big show today. We've had the St. Augustine city manager saying they're going to be nimble when it comes to managing nights of lights. Governor DeSantis vetoes a bill that would have repealed the, quote, free kill law. There's some speeding dump trucks in St. Johns County, and a new law is signed for pet abandonment before hurricanes. We'll get to all that and more, but first, a shout out to Bozard Ford. Since 1949, Bozard Ford Lincoln has been more than just a dealership. It's been a trusted family-owned part of the St. Augustine community for over 75 years. Founded by U.S. Navy veterans Fred H. Bozard Jr. and Fred Bozard III, their legacy of service continues today through unmatched customer care, award-winning facilities, and deep community involvement. From 91 climate-controlled service bays to our no-appointment quick lane, Wi-Fi in the customer lounge, and fantastic food and delicious drinks at Ford's Garage Restaurant. Everything they do is designed to serve you. Experience their nationally recognized customer service, honored with the Triple Crown Award, President's Awards, and more. Bozard Ford Lincoln is here to serve you with great pricing, great selection, and even better people. Bozard Ford Lincoln, they are driven to inspire. Also, a big shout out to the rest of our amazing sponsors: Fidus Roofing, Old Town Trolley, Ben 39, Wine Bar, BNS Signs, Chiba Hut Toasted Subs, St. August Pizza, Chris Lucero Bail Bonds, and St. Augustine Handy Houses. Support all of our wonderful sponsors and support us with your likes, comments, and shares. Find us on YouTube and help us reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers. We're also up on Rumble. Go find us there as well. We are still working on that new chew toy for Chili, so send us your Facebook stars. We really appreciate it. And our app is up and running in the Apple App Store. Good morning, everybody.
Hey, happy weekend.
Happy weekend.
It's Friday.
It's Friday. It's road trip day for me.
Road trip?
Yeah. We've got girls' trip going up. My cousin's getting married. We've got a bridal shower in Georgia to go to.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So it's exciting.
Georgia.
How you doing, Blake?
I'm doing fantastic. Yay. Last day at Flagler in the office.
Oh, yeah?
Yay.
Yeah.
Big day for Blake.
His contract is up.
Up.
So now he
And
has
it's
to go
payday here.
full time. Yeah.
He's so excited.
Payday for everybody else.
Everybody but you.
I still don't get a check.
We appreciate that. Do we have a question of the day?
Question of the day. The question of the day goes something like this. And all you have to do is tell me, the first time you got gas, what price do you remember it being at?
Dude, let's think. So it would have been like 97, I believe. Yeah, 97. And it was $10 for a tank of gas. It was probably $1, like 99 cents, 96
Oh, wow.
cents.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it did go down a little bit during that time frame.
Yeah.
So, Blake, do you remember the first time your dad didn't pay for gas?
Hasn't happened yet.
Should start sometime next week.
It has happened. It has happened. My autism gives me a lot of good things. Remembering what my first gas price is not one of those things.
See, I thought you would nail this like right down. I thought you'd be like, it was a Tuesday on a, like you do on our trips
Circle
and stuff.
K.
Like,
Yeah. No,
Picture it. St. Augustine.
I'm not that good with it.
Yeah. But you remember every trip. Like I was like, hey, what year did we go to Cancun?
Yes, I remember
My dad
that.
did that.
I don't remember mundane things like what was the first time I got gas by myself. I don't know. I'm just going to say 187.
187? Okay, still under $2. Still under $2.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm going to say mine was probably either in the 60 cents, 50 cents, 60 cents, somewhere around that range. So I'm gonna take a guess and say it was like 64 cents a gallon.
Wow. I was in the Panhandle of Florida, and we had military bases, and so our gas stations were competing with mostly service people who could get gas on the base.
Gotcha.
So I think it artificially dropped.
Yeah, because yours sounds low for that.
What
that year,
I'm seeing,
but I think in '83 would have been when I probably pumped gas for the first time. I know it was under $1 while I was in high school at some point. So
Yeah, I remember the first time it took more than $10 to fill up my gas tank, and that was a bad day, man. I had a Chrysler LeBaron.
Yeah, I mean, I remember having like I collect Coke bottles, and if I got like they were 10 cents each. If I got like 20, I was like, I'm set for like a week.
10 cents each of the Coke bottles?
Yeah.
I only got 5 cents for my Dr. Pepper cans in college when I was in New York.
See, we didn't get anything for cans.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So
the bottles are nice.
Every community was a little bit different.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
Yeah. Bobby says he remembers 35 cents. Whew.
Dang, Bobby.
Dang, Fred Flintstone.
Your feet are pretty cheap for moving that car. It's time now for a quick check of the weather.
Same as yesterday.
That quick check of the weather is brought to you by Bin 39. Discover one of St. Augustine's best kept secrets. Bin 39, tucked inside the St. George Inn at the north end of St. George Street, with over 95 boutique wines, 50 of them rated 90 points or higher by Robert Parker. It's the perfect spot for a romantic date night or a relaxing after-work unwind. Sit by the glass or the bottle in a serene courtyard setting and enjoy live music Thursday through Sunday, open daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Just stop by and say, I'll have what Irving's having. Bin 39, your taste to discover. All right, now that we're all liquored up at Bin 39, hit the Blake's traffic report.
Traffic.
Yeah,
so this looks like I-95 is looking very okay today. We have a camera on the exit of a travel stop on 206. Mm-hmm. And congratulations to the senior who won the senior race.
Is that a field day at a assisted living facility?
No. It's actually at the horse track, and some guy's dressed as a king.
Nice. Well, I guess it's
man down.
Not that king.
Oh, another man down.
There go my hip, my back, my hip.
This is what it would look like with me running right now. Is what I'm afraid of.
My back.
Yeah. By the way, I not to brag, but as far as the weatherman goes, I nailed it yesterday.
Yeah, you did.
It was raining at 7:49.
Yes,
it rained a little bit early. It came earlier than I expected, but it was still raining at 7:49.
You totally nailed it. 100%. Yeah. I was sitting there working, putting in numbers, and the rain was crazy. I kept hitting save so I wouldn't lose all of my work if the power went out. All right, to avoid that traffic, Old Town Trolley, climb aboard the Old Town Trolley and experience over 500 years of history in the heart of St. Augustine. This fully narrated 90-minute tour features 22 stops and covers more than 100 points of interest, including iconic landmarks like the Castillo de San Marcos, the Fountain of Youth, and Flagler's Historic Hotel. With open-air views and all-day hop-on, hop-off access, it's the most fun and flexible way to explore the nation's oldest city. Your ticket also includes free admission to the St. Augustine History Museum, and locals, St. Johns County residents, ride free with a full fare guest through the Hometown Pass program. Sign up today at hometownpass.com. Old Town Trolley, the best way to see St. Augustine one stop at a time. All right, moving on into the news, we've got St. Augustine City Manager, quote, we're going to be nimble when it comes to managing the Nights of Lights. Nimble is our word of the day, folks. Find a way to put it in the comments.
Yes.
City leaders and business owners in St. Augustine are working together to tackle one of the biggest challenges of the holiday season, managing traffic and parking during Nights of Lights. On Thursday afternoon, chairs were arranged in a large circle inside City Hall for the fourth in a series of 5 public meetings aimed at finding solutions to ease congestion during the annual event. Business owners listen to city officials present ideas while also sharing concerns of their own. Aaron Jockers, co-owner of the St. Augustine Transfer Company, said last year's crowds created major problems, from clogged streets and delayed emergency response times to residents being unable to leave their own neighborhoods. You need people who are there to watch traffic, maintain bathrooms and lighting, and keep trash under control, Jockers said. City Manager David Burcham emphasized the city's dual goal to improve the event's impact on both commerce and quality of life for local residents. City officials are now weighing several solutions, including a shuttle-only lane on San Marco Avenue to prevent delays in public transport, residential-only parking zones to protect neighborhood access, traffic officers at key intersections to keep cars moving smoothly. Feedback from all 5 community meetings will be compiled into a final report for the City Commission to review. Bertram says it's about more than just this year's event. It's about shaping the future for a rapidly growing city and county. The final community meeting will be held on Tuesday, June 10th from 5 to 7 p.m. in the Alcazar Room at City Hall, located at 75 King Street. It will be in a town hall format and open to all residents and business owners who couldn't attend the earlier sessions. So in the shuttle-only lane, if we do that, where do the horse-drawn carriages go?
Well, the shuttle-only lane is only on San Marcos, so it'd be further down. The horse-drawn carriages are on Avenida Menendez. Okay. So the shuttle-only lane would bring them to like the parking garage and then back. But the problem with the shuttle-only lane is there's crosswalks on San Marco that actually bump out. So they were going to close the parking and use almost that as a third lane. The problem is when you get to those crosswalks, you're down to a really tight 2 lanes again, and I don't know how that's going to work. Yeah. So to me, that's one of the biggest pushbacks is on that one. How to make that shuttle-only lane work? It doesn't work with those. I think there's 3 of those crosswalks on San Marco, and logistically, the FDOT just put those in less than 10 years ago. They're not taking them out just for us, because that's an FDOT road. It's not a city road. So that's the biggest thing I see with.
All right, so the shuttle-only lane wouldn't go all the way to the bridge then?
No, it would not take you to the bridge. It would take you to where the bus drop-off is at the parking garage. So it wouldn't get into that circle. To me, the biggest things are the crosswalks and manning the crosswalks with police officers, because what was happening is people would start walking and then they just wouldn't stop, and then that backs up traffic. Yeah, and traffic continues and continues. You need that on Cathedral. You need that on Avenida Menendez in a couple locations, and you got to have humans there. You can't just trust them to go with the blinking light or whatever it is. Yeah. And there was never any humans there, and that was one of my biggest problems. Is we had a problem the first week, and we didn't do anything different. Yeah. For 12 weeks, and we knew we had a problem. Yeah. So we can't keep doing the same thing. Can we contract the vendors results
with a wagon of blinky lights?
Those are out.
Our traffic cards?
Those are out now.
You would notice those.
Those are out now, and those will definitely help, because they bottlenecked people in areas also, because if people were stopping to buy those and there became a line there, then that backed up the experience for the walker at that point. Yeah. So wayfinding is to me one of the biggest things, because it wasn't a problem until the parking garage closed. Once the parking garage closed, then it all just went. And so we need to let people know, okay, here's where you need to go. Do you go to the Browdy's lot or any other designated lot of wherever it is prior to them getting into the congestion? Yeah. They weren't realizing the garage was closed until they got into the congestion. We need better wayfinding and better law enforcement. And to tell you the truth, right now, I mean, we have lights that have been out since prior to Night of Lights right now downtown. So we got an issue with how we're maintaining, because those lights being out's a crucial component of it too. And trash is definitely a component of it too. I mean, the trash can out front of the Treasury every morning was just completely overflowing. For sure. So I mean, they got a lot. I mean, they got a lot of problems. I mean, I think they're being very nimble.
Nimble.
And facing the problems. But I mean, like, my 2 things that we observed is, the crosswalks, and it's thrown off the series of lights because the way the cars got, everything on these lights is engineered where this one feeds to this one feeds to that one. And that totally gets disrupted during this time. So, hopefully they come up with some good things. But the San Marco 3rd lane idea, great idea and concept. And if it wasn't for those crosswalks, I think it would work very well. but I think it's going to be one of those things where it's going to bottleneck again, and that has to be considered how they're going to manage that.
Yeah.
So the traffic engineer can figure it out, maybe.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot to consider. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a question for you, Dad. So there was discussions about setting up like residential only like parking areas. And I believe there was also discussions about make like having like more auxiliary lots as well that the shuttles can use. Like it's like so what's like other solutions for like parking that we can think of, because right now the only ones that I can think of for like free parking outside of downtown is the Bradley's lot and the Florida Health building. Is there other discussions there about like what's like some other areas for like people to park outside of downtown and then they can shuttle in?
Well, and Irving, one of the comments, and Irving had some great ideas, but the one that kind of stuck with me, and I think Karen even hit it on her comment about I-95. It is changing the mindset of the parker. You go to Disney, you know you're going to park miles away, and you're going to get on the shuttle, and you're going to go, and and it all works. And it's basically what we have to do is we have to change the mindset of the people that are coming here, and the expectation of, I mean, we're Americans. We drive around the parking lot to get to parking places faster, closer, which makes absolutely no sense. But all of us do that. It's like, oh, I got the number. I mean, how excited are you? You get the, prime parking, the number one spot when you're going.
Oh my word. I had to take my daughter to the hospital yesterday, and parking is terrible. We got rockstar parking right by the door. It was amazing.
How exciting. But that's how our brains are set. And we have to reset that thinking of, okay, let me get to this thing, and then we'll get there faster if we use this. The problem with the shuttles was getting caught up in the park in the traffic issue. And it created frustration. So people are like, I'm not even going to use the shuttle because it took me, an hour to use the shuttle.
Yeah.
And, at least in my car, I can see the lights as I'm stuck in traffic. So, and people are doing that. And that's the mindset they're having. We got to get them out of that mindset into the other mindset. And here's the big thing. We have 2 years where this is going to be absolute chaos because the King Street Bridge is closed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we got 2 years, and then 2 years we got to come up with another solution because it's going to be completely different again. So, I'm really rooting for the city and everybody to kind of come up with a good plan. I mean, Blake, we live right in the heart of it, so we see it. We see it every single busy night, and it's mostly on Fridays and Saturdays, are nights where you can't move around.
Yeah,
but. And then Hell Week in between Christmas and New Year's. But we plan our day around that's going to be chaos.
Yeah.
I leave my office at the Treasury and park at my house and walk over to my office at 1 Riberia.
Yeah.
Because of the traffic. Then I walk back home.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I do on a Friday, or that Hell Week is what I do. I leave early because I know I'm going to be trapped in town if I don't.
Yeah.
And it's, so locals also have to participate in this. They have to realize and kind of schedule your days a little bit better and help us out a little bit. There's a bottleneck that happens at around 4 or 5 o'clock at King Street in Riberia that really gets clogged up, and maybe some of those businesses on that street need to talk about staggering when they're leaving work, because if everybody lets out on the same time on those businesses on Riberia, it really it overwhelms that light.
Yeah.
So
I wonder if we could entice people out to the satellite parking locations with like hot cocoa, hot cider, meet Santa, bounce houses, something to give them to do or to make it a destination in and of itself.
Well, and one of the things we're going to do here at the 904 now is we are going to have on our app, the city website's a little challenging to get through. We're going to have on our app a link that'll go to the city website that'll connect you to it of availability of where parking's at and some of those things to try and help. We're going to offer that for free just to try and help people, and awesome. You can click on the app and click on that link, and it'll take you right to it. So that's one thing that I talked at TDC, and then I got with the city information, Melissa, after the show. We're gonna figure out how to make that streamlined, where you don't have to go to the city of St. Augustine, then go to whatever page it's on, and then go to whatever page.
Yeah.
You'll be able to come to ours, hit that
quick link.
Parking, city parking. Whatever we're going to title it, and you'll be able to click on it and see, but how we get that word out is going to be a little challenging too.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. That's where you guys come in, help spread the word.
Yes.
St. Johns County families react to veto of bill that would have repealed Florida's so-called free kill law. With just 1 day before the deadline, Governor Ron DeSantis has officially vetoed House Bill 6017, a measure that would have repealed Florida's, quote, free kill law. DeSantis made the announcement during a press conference in Fort Myers Thursday morning, saying the bill could have a negative impact on the state's healthcare system and insurance premiums. The veto is a major blow to families who have long fought to overturn this law, which currently prevents parents from suing for medical negligence if their adult child is over 25, unmarried, and has no children. One of those parents, Daryl Parrott, lost his son Cameron in November 2024 after what he believes was a preventable death during a 4-day hospital stay. Republicans and Democrats said this was wrong. DeSantis said, "I don't care," Parrott said. Cameron should have exactly the same rights as I do because he has no children. DeSantis defended the veto, saying he would have supported the bill had it capped the non-economic damages and limited attorneys' fees, arguing that would help avoid frivolous lawsuits and help healthcare providers keep healthcare providers in the state of Florida. But advocates like Cindy Jenkins, who also lost a child due to alleged medical negligence, say caps would defeat the purpose of the law. It completely destroys the reason for due process, Jenkins said. Let each case be heard on its own merits. Jenkins also challenged the governor's claim that families can still sue for economic damages under the current law. She explained that many attorneys won't take those cases because the cost to investigate negligence often exceeds the potential payout, leaving families without legal recourse. Despite HB 6017 passing with bipartisan support, the governor formally issued the veto Thursday afternoon. State Senator Clay Yarborough, who supported the Senate version of the bill, sponsored the Senate version of the bill, said he respects the governor's decision and will not advocate for a veto override. Meanwhile, Daryl Parrott says he's not giving up. He plans to be in Tallahassee on Monday to continue pushing lawmakers. This is about what's right and what's wrong, Parrott said, and what's fair.
Yeah, and I know Daryl, and I knew Cameron, and it's just a really great young man. I just don't understand. Why couldn't they come to that cap agreement so that he could have signed this if they would have known that? Why this law seems to me make sense, and both sides seem to be behind it.
Yeah.
If they knew the governor was here, all right, let's find out what that cap is that has to happen so that this still can be in play. Usually in lawsuits like this, you go to any of the bodily injury attorneys and stuff like that. They take a very, very high percentage of it, but they pay all this stuff. If they lose, those attorneys are out of pocket. And that's where they're saying a lot of these attorneys aren't going to take the cases because of this. This one seemed like it was so close.
Yeah.
What fell apart in it? And I wish Daryl all the best luck on Monday when he goes back over there, and I hope he gets his voice heard. Because I think this one could find its way back into and get a good solution. So.
Yeah, I don't agree with the veto. I think that Congress people should kind of challenge the bluff and make those changes and send it right back to him, do it as quick as possible, and see if he signs it. I mean, I don't like the idea that you are less worthy of compensation just because your unmarried childless and adult. I don't like this at all.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Gas Buddy Gas Report. Tell us in the comments what gas prices are looking like around you. We've got Sunoco at North Ponce de Leon Boulevard at $2.84. Shell on King Street is $2.87. Mobil on South Ponce is $2.89. Owens is also $2.89. Sunoco at South Ponce is also $2.89. So is Shell on 216 Ponce de Leon Boulevard. Gate on US 1 North is at $3.19. So is the gate on Mizell Road. Circle K on 207 is also $3.19, as well as the Circle K on US 1 North. That Gas Buddy Gas Report is brought to you by Chris Lucero Bail Bonds. Trouble with the law? Call the name St. Augustine has trusted for years. Chris Lucero Bail Bonds. Available 24/7, their experienced and compassionate team works fast to get you or your loved one out of jail and back home. From paperwork to release, they make the process simple, discreet, and stress-free. No judgment, just help when you need it most. When time matters, remember the name and number. Chris Lucero Bail Bonds at 904-822-BAIL. That's 904-822-2245. Got live music today. Smokin' Joe Shower is at Florida Cracker Cafe at 5 p.m. Jonathan Lee Dotson's at Marina Munch, also 5 p.m. We're going to stick with 5 p.m. for a little while. New guys on the dock at O.C. White. Rob Peck at Tides Oyster Company. Shayla Nelson at Tradewinds is closing out the 5 p.m. hour. We've got Joe Downing at Nocti Food Truck Friday at 5:30. Dewey Via, Backyard Island Cafe at Meehan's, also 5:30. And so is Shayla Muscalco at Funkadelic Food Shack. And Jeremy Price at Schooners. Closes out the 5:30. Joshua Tennessee Worthy is at Cimarron Golf Club, 6 p.m. Ian Opolinski is at Krabby's, 6 p.m. Burn Unit at Fusion 904 Eatery, still at 6. Sarah Herford at Hilton Bayfront, still in 6. Kevin Edwards and Hurricane Grill and Wings. Baby Gray at La Cocina at Cellar Upstairs. Christian Powers at Mellow Mushroom on Anastasia Island. Edwin Barbosa closes out the 6 p.m. hour. We've got Broadway Rave at Cafe 11, 8 p.m. Riggy at Ann O'Malley's, also 8 p.m. Chuck and Elliot at Milltop Taverns at 9 p.m. Marshall Horn at Tradewinds, also 9 p.m. Closing out the night is Cholula at Prohibition Kitchen, 10 p.m. That music report is brought to you by Fidus Roofing. When it comes to protecting your home, trust the local experts at Fidus Roofing and Construction. Voted best of St. Augustine every year since 2012. Whether it's an emergency repairs or full roof replacement, Fidus delivers expert shingle and metal installations using top-tier materials like the GAF Lifetime Roofing System, all backed by strong warranties and GAF Master Elite Certificate. Fidus Roofing, 904-355-ROOF.
They do pavers.
And gutters.
Yeah, they do. All right, moving back into the news. Speeding dump trucks create safety concerns for St. Johns County neighbors.
Dump truck chaos.
Dump truck chaos. In St. Johns County, residents near Rural Golf Village are sounding the alarm over what they are calling, quote, dump truck chaos.
Yes.
Along Passetti Road and County Road 208. Neighbors say dozens of dump trucks now barrel through the area daily, tailgating drivers, speeding, and creating dangerous traffic conditions. The uptick in truck activity follows the opening of a dirt pit on County Road 208 nearly a year ago. It's very frustrating and it's very dangerous, says Melissa Dempsey, a resident of the Grand Lake neighborhood. She described a recent scare in a school zone when a dump truck came too close behind her as she slowed for a turning vehicle. The whole truck was shaking as it braked, and I was looking around thinking, where in the ditch can I drive to avoid getting hit, she said. Residents have brought their concerns to both St. Johns County Sheriff's Office and county commissioners. In a statement to Action News Jax, the Sheriff's Office said its traffic unit is aware of the complaints and is actively patrolling the area. In 1 week of monitoring, they reportedly stopped just one dump truck for speeding. The County Road 208 dirt pit is owned by Usina Contracting, Inc. Management there said the trucks using the site are not their employees, and once the truck leaves the property, they are not responsible for the driver's behavior or routes. County Commissioner Ann Taylor, who represents the area, acknowledged the issue. She says the Sheriff's Department has increased patrols and will continue to monitor traffic volume and safety. Taylor also noted that the area is already congested and the rising number of trucks is making things worse. Paul Prios, president of Grand Lake HOA, says the community is preparing a formal letter to the county and sheriff's office to demand action. Quote, it's become such a growing issue that we're going to draft a letter to the county commissioners and to the sheriffs to have something done, he said. The HOA expects to submit the letter within the next week. I think you can kind of guess his age based on the strongly worded letter tactic.
Yeah, strongly worded.
Yeah. My dad is of the strongly worded lettered generation. This sucks.
That's just and it's unfortunate, but these guys are trying to do their job. And the problem is they probably get paid by the load.
They probably do.
And, they're trying to get there and get back and try and maximize,
their payday.
Their payday is, okay, if I get 3 loads in instead of 2 loads in, I'm going to make some money. If I only get 2, I'm barely paying the bills. Yeah. So these guys are trying to make a living too. I want them to be as safe as possible, but if they're not breaking any laws, then, sorry, you're the one who chose to live in a very densely populated area with that. And I know Grand Lake. I mean, it's those D.R. Horton homes, and it's one of those neighborhoods. Not to pick on D.R. Horton, but like they maximize. I mean, there's several of them out there.
Maximize the number of units per square foot.
Exactly,
right up to the easement.
And this is this is what comes along with those neighborhoods. So because I'm pretty sure those dump trucks are probably taking it to another neighborhood just like the one they live in.
Yeah.
To build it again, and
more D.R. Horton houses.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, I think it's probably a perspective issue, right? Like a dump truck going 25 miles an hour is a different level of seriousness than like a Prius going 25 miles an hour. And so if they're not speeding and if the road is being monitored and it's being shown that they're not speeding, then it's just a problem with big, scary vehicles.
And Bobby's made a good point here because, I mean, these dump trucks are going to create more wear and tear.
Yeah.
The roads are probably breaking down faster than normal because of this type of activity.
Which also exacerbates
But that one takes it off of law enforcement and puts it onto the county at that point, too. And maybe, stuff like this, when the county has to keep paying for these roads to be redone, they'll start thinking about how they're handling development.
Yeah, maybe.
Because you got to, I mean, you approve them, you got to expect the dump trucks are coming in to, and every other type of work vehicle that's going to be coming in there. So.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, we'll see.
All right, moving on. We seem to have a theme of people behaving badly with animals this week. Dog tied to fence during Hurricane Milton inspires Florida law banning pet abandonment in disasters. A dog once left to drown during a hurricane is now the symbol of a powerful new Florida law aimed at protecting pets during natural disasters. On Tuesday, Governor Ron DeSantis signed Trooper's Law, making it a third-degree felony to restrain and abandon a dog during a declared disaster or evacuation order. The law is named after Trooper, a bull terrier found tied to a fence and left behind as Hurricane Milton approached Florida last fall. Trooper was discovered on October 9th along Interstate 75 near Tampa, standing chest deep in floodwaters, frightened and alone. Florida Highway Patrol Trooper Orlando Morales was captured on body cam footage rescuing the dog in the pouring rain. The dog's former owner, 23-year-old Giovanni Aldama Garcia, admitted to leaving the dog, then named Jumbo, behind while fleeing to Georgia. He was charged with aggravated animal cruelty, a third-degree felony. Hillsborough County State Attorney Susie Lopez said the maximum 5-year penalty isn't enough and called for even stronger penalties in similar cases. Renamed Trooper in honor of his rescuer, the dog has since been adopted by a couple in Parkland, survived cancer, and recovered from stomach surgery after ingesting 100 pieces of garbage while in his former owner's care. Now healthy and loved, Trooper has recently voted Parkland's favorite dog, and his name is forever etched into Florida law. In addition to Trooper's Law, Governor Ron DeSantis also signed Dexter's Law, named after a shelter dog who was killed just days after adoption. That bill increases penalties for aggravated animal cruelty, ensuring severe abuse is met with appropriate legal consequences. Florida stands by man's best friend, DeSantis said in a statement. Under Senate Bill 150, it is now punishable by up to 5 years in prison and a $10,000 fine to abandon a restrained dog during a declared emergency. The law also reaffirms penalties for failing to provide animals with adequate food, water, shelter, and exercise. Trooper's story, once a tragedy, has now become a triumph and a tool for change in animal protection statewide. I think DeSantis got this one right.
Yeah, no, this one he definitely got right. I think I believe it was Hurricane Floyd, like where like it went straight up Florida's coast, like in the late 90s, like 99 or something like that, and everybody had to evacuate.
Yeah.
I was in the EOC, and still Animal Control Director Paul Studevant was in there too, and I got a call from a neighbor, and I had to hand it over to Paul, where they had left their dog in the backyard, and it just with no food, they just had it chained to like a post in the backyard, and water was coming in, and very similar to what happened with Trooper, and Paul was able to get out there, but I remember him coming back just so bad, and I was just like, I as I was taking it on the communication, I was on the communication side at that time, I was taking the phone call, I was like, they just fuming, and the neighbor, thank goodness, saw the dog and hadn't left yet, and she's like, I'm about to leave. I don't really know this dog, and I can't take this dog with me. What should I do? I was like, well, you did the right thing calling us. Yeah. And we were able to get out there and do that. But I think it was like the person just got a citation at that point. So, it's good to have some teeth behind it, and I know Paul and his staff's going to be super excited that this is what they have in place.
Yeah, they can prosecute the people that do this kind of garbage. In case you're forgetting about yesterday's story, for killing and poisoning dolphins, 30 days, but for tying up a dog during a hurricane, 5 years. I think we could shift the 5 years to the dolphins.
We can go to any type of animal cruelty, can go to that point.
I agree.
So.
Troy, how do you want to check the comments?
On this fabulous Friday, I will flounder my way through our findings of our followers.
Fabulous. And that flounder is sponsored by BNS Signs. Want your business to get noticed and stay that way? Turn to BNS Signs, proudly family owned and serving St. Augustine for over 50 years. From bold vinyl lettering to towering pylon signs, they specialize in high quality custom signage built to last. Their expert team handles everything design, installation, crane, service, repairs, and maintenance with fast, responsive service that keeps your signs looking sharp. Make a lasting impression with BNS Signs. Visit bnssigns.com, because when it comes to signs, they do it all. Also brought to you by St. Augustine Handy House. Need a custom or prefab portable building that's built to last? Come to St. Augustine Handy House, proudly owned by Troy Ucena Enterprises and serving the community since 1988. With over 70 structures in stock, from sheds and barns to carports and offices, you'll find the perfect fit for your needs. Every building comes with free delivery, leveling, and anchoring, plus easy financing options to fit your budget. Visit them on State Road 16, open Monday through Saturday, or call 904-823-9092. Visit St. Augustine Handy House, where quality meets convenience. All right, we got a comments report.
We got a lot of comments here. Wawa was at $3.19. Costco was at $2.69. A lot of comments about redirecting traffic for night lights. The other one that I think is the most important is getting law enforcement involved in it. Either it's through St. Johns County Sheriff's Department, some other type of law enforcement, whatever it takes to make it happen. But I think in our comments, that was one of the biggest themes, is having them involved in it, having the right manpower in the right locations, and it should ease the pain. It's going to be painful. King Street's going to be painful, so we're not going to fix this. Hopefully the city stays nimble.
As Bobby noted, that was a nimble way to do your alliteration.
Yeah. So hopefully they stay nimble about the whole thing and keep an open mind. and be able to adjust. Okay, on week one, if it doesn't work, adjust.
Yes.
MTA, make the adjustment. You know, when you do an event, that was one of my themes. Or I did a tournament, or I did an event, or anything like that. There's always going to be hiccups. There's going to be rain. There's going to be lightning delays. There's going to be different things. MTA, make the adjustment. And that's what the city didn't do last year, and I hope they do it this year.
Stay nimble.
Yes.
Stay nimble.
Stay nimble. MTA, make the adjustment.
Do we have a Stoidum stat today?
Stoidum stat today, going back to 1922,
All right,
when Bobby was getting gas for 3 cents a gallon. Warren G. Harding became the first president to do a nationwide radio address.
Ooh.
So he was the very first president for his voice to go out like that. Obviously, we all know how FDR used it during his presidency. But Warren G. Harding was the first president to do a radio, and the power of radio is still very strong. I still consider us radio, even though we're podcasters.
Yeah.
I haven't mentally changed that. Like, people go, "Oh yeah, you have a radio show," and I try not to correct them. I'm like, yeah,
ish.
Yeah.
With video.
Yeah, with video. With video.
We're standing on the shoulders of Warren G. Harding.
Yes, Warren G. Harding kind of got it all going.
Nice. We
Thanks,
love that.
G-Man.
Thanks, G-Man, the OG. That Stoidum stat brought to you by St. Augie's Pizza in downtown St. Augustine, right on the corner of Riberia and MLK. Get yourself a slice today. Get yourself a slice tomorrow, too.
Mm-hmm.
We got plugs, Troy.
All right, a huge plug today. I got to give congratulations to Cathedral Parish Early Learning VPK class is having graduation, and our own girl Maeve has her first graduation today, and that's where I'm headed immediately after the show.
That is awesome. Congratulations, Maeve. We love you. Blake, do you have any plugs, any shout-outs?
Yeah, I definitely want to say, with my last day here at Flagler, I just want to say, like, a few thank yous. Thank you to AD, Judd Damon, Matt, Joey, Brad, John, Jared, Bailey, Jordan, Rebecca, Cade, Ben. They have all been, like, super amazing during my time here at Flaggers. I just want to say thank you so much to all of them if you are listening.
Right. That's awesome. Thank you, guys. Mm-hmm. And I just like to say, drive safe. Have a good weekend. Spend some time with your family. Don't forget to like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, subscribe to YouTube, and Rumble. No bollocks tonight. We'll see you Monday.
Bye-bye.